Genesis chapter 1 verses 29 through 31. Have dominion over the fish of the sea, the birds of the air, and all living things that move on the earth. God also said, See, I give you every seed-bearing plant all over the earth, and every tree that has seed-bearing fruit on it to be your food, and to all the animals of the land, all the birds of the air, and all the living creatures that crawl on the ground. I give you the green plants for food. And so it happened. God looked at everything he had made and found it very good.
There are 5 key ideas to Catholic environmentalism. They come from Pope John Paul II's 1990 World Day of Peace message. The first, and probably the most important, is stewardship. It states that we are the caretakers of creation. Humans are not the rightful owner of creation, but rather it was given into our care by its rightful owner, God.
The second key term to environmentalism is preferential option of the poor. Because of factors such as cheap building materials, low levels of general health, and a greater dependence on agriculture, the poor are especially susceptible to the results of environmentalist irresponsibility. Roughly half of the jobs on Earth are in farming, fishing, and forestry, and are disproportionately held by the poor people. If any major natural disaster occurs, the poor people are the first ones to be affected.
The third concept is the right to a safe and healthy natural environment. A safe and healthy natural environment is a human right, similar to rights such as healthcare, education, and a decent standard of living. If it is a right for it to mean anything, somebody has to enforce it when it's being violated. Modern ecological problems are a major issue in today's world, and therefore the environment must be protected.
The fourth principle is the precautionary principle. In evaluating interventions in the environment, if you can't be sure that the good will outweigh the harm, the best thing to do is be cautious. It is better to act now until the problem gets worse, and the remedies will be more costly. The precautionary principle leads us to act now to avoid the worst possible consequences.
The last principle of environmentalism is lifestyle changes. Human problems cannot be fixed through just political matters. A change of heart is also needed. This principle calls us to make lifestyle changes that will ensure every individual has an equal opportunity to resources. It's not technique, but a whole style of life.
When you're shopping, don't use plastic bags.
Use reusable ones.
Don't use these old batteries. Use these new rechargeable batteries. They will cut down on the waste. Ride your bike instead of driving in your car. Whee! Carpool! When you're not using a charger, unplug it because it still gives off energy. Make sure you close your fridge.
Make sure you turn off the lights when you leave the room. That helps to conserve electricity. Recycle your bottles and newspapers.
Make sure you turn off the water while you're brushing your teeth. This will conserve water. Big businesses can't just drop everything that they're doing and change for the better. It's going to take a process over time, but I think every little step that we can take along the way is going to better the world for future generations.
Whenever I went to the Bahamas last summer, I went to a almost deserted island, and it was beautiful. But there was one large Morton salt plant on the island, and there were these small ecosystems that were just completely destroyed by the plant, and like entire reefs were damaged. There were beaches littered with human debris, and it was just interesting to think how one small section that's barely been touched by humans can be so completely destroyed.